Hello everyone. So today we are having a session on installation of SQLite in Ionic 5 and how we will implement all these functionalities in our Ionic application. So as you can see here that in today's session we will try to implement SQLite plugin in our Ionic application, and we will see how we can do we can perform CRUD operations in our application, just like create, read, update, and delete. We will try to perform all these operations, and we will see the list of tasks as well. So to begin with that, first of all, let me show you let me share my screen to you, so we will get to know like what we are creating today. Okay, just give me a second. My screen is visible to you, Naveen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so let me start. So here, as you can see that wait a minute. Yeah, so here as we are having our application. So what we are having here, whatever the name we are having of the employee and whatever the task we want to give him, we can do that, and we can add the task over there, and you can see that the task what I have added, it is come here. And when I click on the pencil button and try to update this, then it I can update anything whatever I want to do, like just update. And if I want to delete that I can delete as well, and I can add new tasks as well. And here I am having the list of the tasks what anyone want to do. So how we are doing all this stuff. So first of all, let's come on to the command prompt. So whenever you want to create any new project or application with the help of Ionic, so this is the first command what you have to run in an empty folder. Just Ionic start, and whatever the application's name you are having, and what type of app you want. You want a blank application, you want an application with the tabs, and you want only one page over there, so you can mention it here. And on which type you want, that means you want to create the application on Angular, on React, or anyone. Now after create completion of the uh, Ionic start command, your application will be created, and you will get the folder structure like that. As you here you can see this type of structure you will get in your folder when the Ionic start command will get finished. And then now we have to implement the SQLite plugin over there, so we can perform the CRUD operations over here without using any API, by just running the SQL commands, insert, update, delete, and create. So for that we need a Cordova SQLite storage plugin. So just in command prompt, Ionic Cordova plugin, add Cordova SQLite storage, and then we need all the dependencies of this plugin as well. And to run and execute the SQL command, this is the most important thing which we need in our application, the SQLite portal, because this helps us in making and creating a connection between our SQLite plugin and in our application. Because of that, our SQL queries will not get run, and we will get the error that execute SQL is command is failed. So this is the really important thing in our application whenever we are trying to create the things like that with the help of SQLite. Now coming on to the next. So when we have created all this stuff and we have completed the all the setup of our application, now we have to implement the SQL. So first of all, whenever we are creating any type of database, so the main thing we are having in our DB is a table. That means whatever we want to store in our application, we need a table for that. And in table, we will uh, define the number of rows in columns over there. So what are the values these columns will have and how much rows we want in our table. So here I am having one query which is create table if not exist. The name of the table, it is song table, and the command how much how many types of columns I want. So I want three informations over there. One is ID, which is unique for each of the person, and another one is the name of anyone, whatever who will do the task or anything, and the name of the task. So I have created the I have created a table with three columns. One is ID, artist name, and song name. Now, once table is created, and then we have to insert the data into our table. So for that we are having the SQL command like insert into the table name and what the things we want to insert, just like ID, artist name, and song name. So here I have given the ID, name, and whatever the operation we have to whatever the detail we are having. So now coming on to the coding part. So I am not going to do complete coding over there. I am just letting you know that how we can do these things in our application. So now here I have created one service named as dbservice.ts. So here, first of all, whenever we want to create a database in our Ionic application with the help of SQLite plugin, so first of all, we need to create a database for that. So for that, here I am having SQLite objects, just like I have imported them with Ionic native and SQLite properties. So whenever we want to create a connection to the database, so first we have to create a connection between them. And first we will create the SQLite database. So here SQLite, and when we uh, begin again, then it will gives us a function name is create. So in create we are having two things. One, the name of the DB, and the location. It will be default anytime, everywhere. Whenever we are creating the database, then the location will be default. As you can see here, I have updated the location default here, and the name of your database, whatever you want to give it. And then once the DB is get connected, so here as you can see that I am getting open database poststrings DB has been event. This function is get called whenever we fire the platform fire the function of platform here. So when our platform will get ready, then we are calling this function SQLite create. Now coming on to the next one. So we have created our database, and now we want to create our table in our database. So for that we have created one file in our assets folder we named as dump.sql, where I have updated the query for that create table and all of the queries which the information I wanted to store in our database. So now to create a table, we have called our get fake data over there function, in which I have used HTTP client to get the data from dump.sql, and here I am using SQL porter to import SQL to DB. So here, so whenever we get the connection get established with our database, that means our database has been created, then we will call this function, this dot get fetch data. So here we are in the when we call this function, our new table will be get created. So here we are having the three parameters, one is id, one is the artist name, and another one is song name. So now this part has been completed, and now we want to store the information one by one. That means with the help of user we want to store the records in our db. So for that we have created one function name is add song, in which it will take two parameters, one is for artist name and one is song name. So here, as you can see that here I am having two input fields, one for employee, one for task name. So here I will, whatever I will write over there and whatever the task name, then on add task, we are calling that function, which is named as add song. So here I am sending all these two parameters in this function, and we are executing the SQL query over there, with the help of which our values will get stored in our database. So here this dot storage dot execute SQL. So here storage refers to SQLite objects. That means we are using the properties of SQLite. So whenever we want to execute any SQL query, we have to use dot execute SQL and the name of the query, whatever we want here. So here I want to insert the records in our database. So I have used insert into the table name and what are the things I want to store in our database and the values of this. So the values of this will be whatever we get from the input field with the help of user, which is data. Now this is for add, whenever we want to add anything. Okay, so now we have seen one function, which is add. We are having four functionality, four operations over there. One is create, another one is read, another one is update, and the last one is delete. So now let's come on to the next one. Now we want to get a single object with the help of id. So whenever we want any record, just like we, let's suppose I have searched for something like here, let me show you my screens. Okay, so here, as you can see, whenever I click on this pencil button update, which is for update, so here I am only getting the information for the one on which I have clicked. That means I have clicked on Prajwal create session on CRUD operation. This information I am having over there. I am not getting all this stuff. So why it is happening? Because I have selected only uh, one record at that time whenever I am clicking on this. So for that we have to use ID for that. That's why we have provided a unique ID to each of the our uh, fun- uh, our data. So this unique, with the help of this unique id, we are able to find a specific item in our database. So for that we are having a function, and the same we will run the sql query over there. So whenever we want to find anything with the help of id, we are having the query select star from the table name, and where the id, whatever the id of that specific object we are having. So on when we run this query, so this query will try to find it out in our database, that which id, let's suppose I am having the id 1. So in database this query will try to find out that uh, which type of specific object is having the id of 1, and then according to that it will show us the response of that. Now coming on to the next one, it which is update. So for update, let's suppose I have added some information and now I want to update this. I don't want to create a new one, I just want to update the previously created new one. So for that, we are also having one query, which is update song, the table name, and whatever the values we want to update. That means I want to update the so artist name and song name. So, and here also I have given the id. Why we have given the id? Because which record we want to update. That means we are in database, we are having thousands of ids over there, as thousands of responses we are having. So this can be determined with the help of id only, and there is no option, other option we are having. So whenever we want to update anything, so we will use this type of queries, just like update the table name and the whatever the values we want to update. Just like here I have written artist name and song name, because I want to update the artist name over there and song name, and where id, whatever the id we will having. So let me try to. Okay, so now here I am having the name Prajwal, and I have written my task name. So let's suppose I want to add my complete name over there, and in CRUD operations I want to add that this is part 1. Now I want to update this information in our. So here, as you can see, that my name has been changed. Previously I was having Prajwal only, now I am having Prajwal Sharma, and the information what I have updated. Okay, so this is the basic use of update operation what we are having. It is one from our CRUD operation. Now coming on to the delete one. So there are some cases whenever we need to delete something, or we are not required this thing anymore, so we will try to delete this. So for deleting anything, we are having the query, we are again having the SQL queries over there. So for that, deleting a unique record, I can say, just like how we get to know that I want to delete this thing, and there are so many records actually. Just like here you can see that I am having the list of tasks over there. So and now here I want to delete this, the last one. So how I get to know that whenever I will click on this button, delete button, then how I get to know that this one is needed to be deleted from the database. So to get to know about that, we have again used id over there. That's why id plays a major role in our uh, database. So whenever we want to delete anything, we will use again run the again execute the sql query, which is delete from, and which table you want to delete this. And here I have given the id, where id will be whatever the id we are having for the specific object. So this will be get deleted from the our database. Let's suppose I am having the ggrf over there. So when I click on the delete button, the task has been deleted. So here you can see that we are not able to see the gg over there anymore. So that's it. So here, so in today's sessions, we have learned about four things: how we can create, how we can read, how we can update, how we can delete all these operations in our SQL. So here I am using the SQLite plugin over there to create without using any API and anything. Uh, I have created the application in which we are having all these four operations over there. We can do create, we can read, we can update, we can do delete all as well. So I have shown you all the things, just like adding the new task. Here we are using CRUD operation for create. By clicking on add task, our task has been added. Now I want, and whenever it will get added, we have called one function which is for read. That means all the data which is present in our database, we are calling that. And when I created one task over there, so it get listed below. And for now I am having the other option which is for updating. Whenever I click on update, I can update anything. Let's suppose I am giving the new name to this updated record, and now I want to add a task. Let's suppose I click that, and when I click on update, so here we have used update operation over there. The behind the scenes our SQL queries will get executed, and this will follow into the our database, and whatever the records we are entering, just like I want to delete this, so I can click on that, and whenever I clicking on the delete option, then my delete query will get executed. That means the function what we are having here, so it finds out the id, the unique id, and whenever the in a database we get the unique id, then this will be get deleted permanently. So yeah, this is all about all I am having right now. The session today we have created is just to get to know about the things that what is happening in behind the scenes. That means we are seeing on the screen something, and how it is will getting executed in the backend side actually. So today we have cleared some of the things, just like what is happening in the backend and how we are uh, creating all this stuff. Yeah, that's all. And if you have any question, please reach out to
No,
me and I
no,
will update you on that.
no,
Thank
no.
you.
Thank you.